It's just gone lunchtime. This is All Angles here on eNCA. Good afternoon. I'm Masego Ratlaga. It is that time of the day when we give you an update on how far some of the stories we've been following for you on channel today have advanced. This is your lunchtime update. Our reporters are out and about bringing you the latest on today's top stories. I'm joined now by Theodore Mashele in Kliptown for us. Bafedile Moerane is in Pretoria, and Moloko Moloto is also in the capital in Centurion. All right, Theo, let's start with you. Of course, the body of a missing teen who allegedly drowned while crossing a river has been recovered in Kliptown, Soweto. You were there at the moments when his body was being recovered by emergency services. What can you tell us? Has anyone identified the body?
Well, from the community members that have been here, Masego, no one could identify the body. According to the residents around the area, they're saying that the boy must have been from the other side. I'm just going to ask my colleague to pen over. If you can see, that is the river stream over there, and that river stream divides the two areas here in Kliptown. There's another area on the other side, and the boy was seen standing on the other side and asking for a cigarette from certain people who were on the other side of the stream. And apparently after that he then attempted to cross. So the people from this side are saying they did not recognize the boy at all, and they are hoping that at least someone from the other side will catch a word of this, and they will then identify the boy. What is happening at the moment, though, we are looking at the forensic pathology services who just removed the body from the scene, and they are about to go to the mortuary with the body, and the process about identifying the body then is going to be a bit more complicated. It seems like there will be a case number, and families around the area, or rather the community, will then be informed that this incident has happened, and if anybody is missing a person, they will then have to follow and go through to the mortuary that the body will be delivered to see if they can identify the body and confirm the identity. But at the moment, it seems like there has not been anybody who has come through to the scene that has even alluded to the idea of this being their relative or family member. So we are now just waiting for the forensic department to leave, and we're going to just check with them as to what the process is going to be going from here.
All right, let's go to Bafedile Moerane now. And Bafedile, of course, you know about the DA-led march. They marched to the Department of Water and Sanitation to demand an end to the water crisis here in Gauteng. You've since spoken to the minister himself. What is he saying in response?
Well, Masego, the minister is acknowledging to say that there are some challenges. There are some hiccups in terms of water provision in Gauteng, but he's saying that there's a progress that has been recorded with about 50% water capacity or over that by this morning in all the reservoirs in the entire Gauteng. And however, during the engagements with the minister there, the DA Gauteng Premier candidate, Solim Simanga, when he was engaging them, said that, but whatever that you are telling us, Minister, to say that there's a progress that has been recorded, it is something totally different from what we attest on the ground. People in areas like Soshanguve, under the city of Tshwane, people in the Val are crying foul, having to say that for quite some time now, there has been a huge water crisis, which at this point, it is bringing anxiety to them, leaving them worried to say, where are we going when we do not really get a proper and clear response from government? And among others, their call is that the minister should look into Rand Water as the water bulk supplier, and they are calling for the minister to fire Rand Water CEO because they are blaming him of the crisis many residents are subjected to in Gauteng. However, the minister, in receiving the memorandum, is saying that he's definitely going to go through all the matters that Democratic Alliance have pointed out in their memorandum. And he's also acknowledging to say that there is a huge challenge in terms of water crisis. And the minister is saying that among other problems, it is the issue of infrastructure, something that has actually been highlighted on numerous occasions, to say that decaying infrastructure is one of the huge challenges leaving South Africans or residents of Gauteng in particular with the water problem at this point in time. Let us listen to what the minister said to us, Masego, during our interview.
I know the nature of problems that are happening here, but let me start with the main thing. Gauteng municipalities lose, on average, 35% of their water that they buy from rainwater, only to leak it to the ground, lose it, in other words. Now, when that happens, we are in touch with them. We are on daily meetings with them to say, we need to repair, we need to build infrastructure, we need to bring down this kind of situation, the loss of water. So, whatever is happening in households and areas when there are shortages of water, it is not because municipalities are not getting enough water from rainwater. It would be because rainwater loses about 3% in their pipes. But it would be because of challenges on the ground of one kind or the other.
All right, Maloko, you were with the Independent Electoral Commission. They had a briefing today, and they say that they are ready for the first weekend of voter registration coming this weekend. Several concerns regarding registration were raised during the briefing. Take us through them and how the Commission plans to address them.
Well, Masego Ratlaga, a message from the Electoral Commission of South Africa to South Africans is that this is your democracy, own it. Essentially, they are encouraging more South Africans this weekend to come out in numbers. Those who are not registered to vote, to come and register at about 23,000 voting stations or registration stations that will open their doors this weekend, Saturday and Sunday from 8 in the morning until 5 in the evening. But also those who are registered voters to come and verify their details. And of course, there were issues. You might have heard the Deputy CEO, Masego Shiburi, who was briefing Parliament in the past few days, saying that they had some glitches when they were doing their dry run. However, the Electoral Commission is confident that they have managed to tick almost all the boxes and they are ready. They are saying that they are targeting, Masego, about 1 million people, new voters, to be registered this weekend. And very interesting stats that were mentioned there by the Chief Electoral Officer, Mr. Sai Mamabulo, who is saying that according to census report released last month by the Statistics South Africa, there are 62 million South Africans. Out of those 62 million people in South Africa, there's about 39.7 million people of voting age. And out of that, he is saying the voters' roll currently is standing at 26.2 million. This means about 13.5 million eligible voters in South Africa are not registered to cast their vote. And obviously those are the people who, if they were to, all of them, vote for one particular political party, that party stands a chance of becoming the governing party in South Africa. But another interesting thing, Masego, that the Chief Electoral Officer of the Electoral Commission, Mr. Sai Mamabulo, mentioned was that unlike in the previous national or general elections, when, let's say, for instance, you are a registered voter in Gauteng and on the election day you find yourself in, say, the Free State or the Eastern Cape, Previously, you would be given just the ballot, the national ballot paper, and you will be able to cast your vote. You will not vote for the provincial leaders. This time around, he says that the laws have changed. If you are registered to vote in a particular voting district, say in Gauteng, on election day, he says you must vote at that particular voting district. If you want to vote elsewhere, you need to have applied for permission prior to election day. Let's listen to him as he was explaining reasons behind that particular decision.
If you recall, there were allegations in 2019 of people having voted multiple times, having gone to their station and having received a Section 24A elsewhere. Those were allegations. The relevant people were arrested and brought before the courts. And in all instances, they indicated that they only attempted to do so. And some of them paid fines to the courts. Now, you don't want a repeat of that. Hence, Parliament felt it's necessary to strengthen the provision. It is still available. It is still it's an available facility, but you're going to access that facility by pre-notification. In other words, you can't just rock on the day. You must have notified the Chief Electoral Officer through a mechanism that we will outline a little later on, of your intention to vote outside of your voting station.
Right, that was your eNCA lunchtime update from all angles with reporters Moloko Moloto, Bafedile Moerane and Theodore Mashele. Thank you, team. Let's leave it there for now.